All right, I'm going to do a small response of this video. You have some of the older guys who are now starting to come out and have something to say about the NIL, and my views are similar to what this coach talks about. So we're going to listen to this short video, but then we're going to go talk about it.
Say it like it is. And here's why I say that. You know, you talk about all of us here at one point, we were in high school, and the ultimate dream is to what? Before you get to the NBA, right? You talk about, man, can I get a scholarship somewhere?
Right.
And even then, if you weren't able to, you knew you could go to junior college, maybe for a year, which I did, right? You go to junior college, and you can still get a scholarship. My problem with it is this: when the NILs and all of that stuff came in, I felt like there was no regulations, and it just became the Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
So let's talk about.
Now, quickly, the reason why that's the case is because the NCAA failed to plan for the name, image, and likeness. That's why it came out of nowhere, because the NCAA tried to hold the jail firm walls up for as long as they could. And if I remember correctly, it was Texas. There was a loophole in the gray area in the NIL. And because the NCAA did not back getting players paid, to me, the more rational way, which is them just cutting off some of their profits, Texas said, oh, well, we're not giving it to them. Technically, our sponsors and donors are giving it to them. So we have nothing to do with it. And not open up the gray area for the NIL, which means all the other universities started doing it. And once all the other universities started doing it, NCAA tried to sue Texas because of it and lost. And when they lost, that's when it opened up the floodgates. I can't remember exactly the years this happened, but that's why it seemed like to someone like this coach here, it came out of nowhere. Now, if you were informed, you have known this, but they lost a lawsuit. NCAA lost all its power. And once they lost all its power, they got, oh, well, now they're trying to pick up the pieces. But they ended up, unfortunately losing out. G League is better. Overall, it's a better league than what the NCAA is doing. And they get paid more. Now, the NIL is changing that because you have these massive universities who have so much money. These donors have so much money. They can throw money to get players because they want to. The difference is that's going to change too, because the economic environment and less people going to university, a lot of university budgets aren't the same anymore. And you're going to find that out in about 5 to 10 years. The bigger schools going to be okay, but some of these mid-major, smaller schools, smaller D1 schools, they're going to lose out. They're not going to have the money. They're not going to have the tuition, the people coming to college anymore. So yeah, that's essentially what's happening. So let's keep going.
That first, you talk about kids making money. I'm all about the kids making money, but impose some rules to where they understand the structure of contracts. Because when you come to the NBA, you sign a contract. You are going to be in that contract until the team lets you go or your contract expires. So
that is true. They would wait for you when it comes to a contract. But here's the thing, and that was in the NBA, not as long as some of these guys. I was only there for a very small stunt, but they don't care about your contract either. That contract is normally designed to completely benefit those the organizations, the NBA organizations. Unless you have some collective bargaining agreement, which is a CBA, which tries to protect them, which is almost like its own form of a union. So they try to protect players' rights. But when it comes to, oh, well, we need to teach these kids, they're not going to teach you. Why would they do that? You are a product, a marketing. That's what the NIL is, name, image, likeness. You are a marketing product to all these businesses that want to sell more products to other consumers. The reason why they're coming to you in the first place. So knowing that, and that's the reason why they're coming, they are going to do whatever they can to get the most value extracted from whatever person they're signing up for before they have to pay out. Period. They're not going to sit here and say, all right, let's educate you on how we're going to take advantage of you so we can get more money off you than we can give you to, essentially, the value that we give to you, essentially. When ultimately, kids in this situation already create the value because how good they are in their sport. They're not looking to help you. Same thing when it comes to record labels, same thing when it comes to sport, all of it. They're not going to help you. And it's sad that he's a little bit idealistic when it comes to this. They're not going to help you. Why would they teach you that? If anything, it would be the NCAA's job to do that. But the NCAA, once again, was so greedy that they did not foresee that they will lose their monopoly on all the best USA sports talent so quickly. Because that's why they implemented that 1 year going to college, because they want to capitalize on the Zions and the big names are coming out because we're a sports powerhouse as a country, and they wanted a piece of it. So hey, you got to come to university at least 1 year to go to NBA. You can't go from the high school to NBA no more, because they wanted their piece. And then they got it. And then once they got it, what was happening? Anyone who's a big NCAA fan in college, how much money were these guys making during March Madness? Record profits and record revenue every single year. That's the value. And they wanted to monopolize all that money for themselves. How many articles, how many people who watch this video are going to say, well, why are these kids only eating peanuts and all these coaches are making hundreds of millions, tens of millions of dollars? That's why. Because we were essentially almost like a slave labor force. And what people will say was, oh, well, you got a free education. We didn't get a free education. That's not what that was. We are paying for it through the fact that we're winning games, selling tickets, selling jerseys. And technically, the universities aren't losing anything. It's a credit. They credit us. That's tuition. The tuition don't mean anything. The only thing a tuition really represents is the universities in the goods and services the universities have. The new student union, the new football field, more amenities as a university. That's why tuition goes up every year. Hey, we got to pay for the upkeep of the new weight room and the new field house. That's what that is. And then they increase tuition. And instead of us paying it, they just say, okay, well, that's just one less people. We don't have to worry about his money. We're gonna get money. We're gonna extract value a different way, through university, through playing games, through winning championships, which is what I did when I was in college.
You're not able to sign a $2 million NIL deal. Somebody comes along and offers you a $3 million NIL deal and you leave.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So you're teaching, you're not really teaching these kids how to be professional and understand contract, understand, I signed my name on this paper, I'm going to commit to this. And I think it works both ways, for the schools and for the athlete.
Agreed.
Then you start talking about kids that have entered the draft, went through the draft, put on an NBA uniform, and now they can come back to college at the age of 25. Your time is past.
Man,
if you're not good enough to make it in that window of your time, your time is past. So go overseas.
Go overseas.
Go overseas, figure it out through the G League. But to have kids that are 26, 27, be able to come back into college and play against 17, 18, 19, and take away their ability to start their futures, I think is bullshit.
I agree. I fully agree on what he said in that situation. That people who have already who became professionals now can come back and make money in college. I mean, I would have loved to do that. Oh my goodness. But fact of the matter is, my time has passed. This is the NCAA's fault for being so greedy and not planning for this. They should have been planned for this. He's saying that, they should be, they should help with contract. NCAA should be the ones who are doing that. And open up a framework, a legal framework through the NCAA that will allow athletes to not have to make $864.67 per month for our stipend. That's what I had to live off of. And that's not including my bills. I had to pay rent, had to pay my electric bill, had to pay for food, gas. I couldn't afford anything. So instead of showing some humility and giving your athletes or people you're making money off of a livable wage, and you just taking a cut. Like, you need to take a loss. You can't assume you're making the billions of dollars in revenue. No, you need to split some of that revenue with the athletes. You didn't want to do it. You fought it and fought it and fought it. And now when the dam breaks and the water floods in, now you're saying, oh, well, what can we do? Can we fix it? No, you can't fix it now. And now you're seeing the consequence of it. Everyone's seeing the consequence of it for the past almost decade now. I've been watching it. I've been saying this for years. NCAA dropped the ball. And now that you dropped the ball, now you're having these athletes who are 25, 26, who are only making, especially the guys in the G League, who are only making $35K a year, who could get late, who could get cut immediately. They're going to go right back to college, especially if they have eligibility, get an NIL deal, make a good 6 figures and be done. It's a much better opportunity to go to college now because there's so much money into it. And now, like I said before, these kids are professionals. So now you have to look at it as a professional now. And no one's going to save you. No one's going to protect you. As idealistic as I said earlier, how he is, no one cares. They care about extracting as much value as they can out of you. It's on you and you alone to represent your own interests. And hire people that will guarantee your own interests. If you don't do that, then you're going to see it. You're already seeing it. People lose deals, get kicked out. And trust me, these schools and clubs and businesses are going to start effectively changing those contracts. So if they do leave for another deal, there'll be a penalty. So it's a good video. Let's all learn. Like and subscribe. See you next time.